It's here. It happened. We lost to New England, and it wasn't pretty. That's the reality, though. We lost. We're not gonna make excuses. We lost. Because even with the bad call, even with what was taken away, we had every opportunity in the second half to come out and win the game, and we didn't. And we didn't because our quarterback played like crap. And what was disturbing this press conference after the game was he doesn't seem to understand that. He thinks it's just a couple of mistakes. Oh, I got to do this. I got to do that. No, this is the NFL. It's like you can't just keep saying the same thing. Oh, I got to play better. That one got away from me. It's not okay. So we're going to talk about this game. We're going to talk about Zach Wilson and what it means. How much does it mean? Are we overreacting? Are we not overreacting? The Zach haters are certainly going to enjoy their moment in the sun and glory. It's always interesting when we have that part of our fan base that would rather be right than win. So they're going to be all happy. And that's how they take victory from defeats. Instead of just being bummed that we lost, they're going to sit there and be happy and act like they're smart because they knew that Zach wasn't good. I don't want to hear any of that crap. Be honest with you. I'm pissed off at the way Zach played. But we're going to talk about what it means and how far we should take this right after this. Greatest co-host in the world! Y2K99. Get ready to rumble!
The tag team champions of the world!
My brotherly creeper
has the best intro I have ever received.
The world! The Buffalo Jets man.
Yo!
George Fant is a barely above replacement level, pretty good left tackle.
How can you say that when he was top 3 in sack percentage last year for left tackles?
And I think when in doubt, until you have better reason, go with the optimistic view. And our defensive line is going to be giving a lot of people some trouble.
But yeah, it's got to be, I'm with you. I don't like the Nathan's fries when they're like floppy. It's got to be like done really well, you know. It's very hard to teach 6'3" and 4.3 speed. That's very rare. The talent's there. He's just got to put it together mentally.
Right.
To get on to you. I'm a cheater. So, look, here we are. Let's say hello to some people. Got somebody new I don't really recognize in the chat. Hexen. It's sad to say, but I just don't see Zach Wilson getting much better. He keeps making mistakes he made last year, and are easy mistakes to stop making. I wouldn't say easy to – that might be a little bit of an embellishment to say easy to stop making, but I'm with you. Today, he made the same mistakes. He looked like the same Zach Wilson as a year ago. He hasn't always looked like the same Zach Wilson as a year ago because he wasn't making as many turnovers, but today he did. So I agree with that. Same old fans, Jeremy? Oh, the pain. Yeah, man, it's a loss. We have to put that in perspective, you know? They were 5-2, which is a shock. No one knew that was going to happen. No one could have possibly, that was a dream. And they won 4 in a row, and now they didn't win 5 in a row. So remember, aside from like what we're about talking about Zach Wilson, when you talk about the Jets, any anger towards the Jets losing today is really saying how angry. I mean, I understand we want to beat New England, and I'm pissed that they get to beat us again. But at the same time, remember that we're angry over the fact that we didn't win 5 in a row. We won 4 in a row. As many games as we won all last season. So there is room for some perspective. Clutch, what's going on? Good to see you. New York Sports Week. What's up, Adam? I'm getting sick of people accentuating all the negatives of Wilson and ignoring the positive. Well, today there was a little bit of positive today. But look, today was a tough day, but it's hard to, obviously while it was happening, I was thinking this is the end. He's garbage. He's trash. But with any time to reflect, it's hard for in one game to say, I believe in a quarterback and I believe he could still pan out and be really good. And then in one game say, I've changed my mind. This quarterback could never be good, right? So there's a lot of emotion right now. So we're going to let the emotions settle before I make any final decision on how I feel about Zach. I definitely think that today was a hard day and a tough day to watch. Tough day to be a Zach fan, and with Buffalo coming up next week, it's just not feeling good. But we'll see. We'll see. Arm talent strength, yes. Arm strength, yes. Can he play in the NFL? Arrow pointing down. Well, he's trending down. Yeah, but everybody. A lot of quarterbacks will play better with great pass protection. There's no question about it. There were plays where he had pass protection and he couldn't throw the ball 8 yards. So, it's not like this goes beyond pass protection. There's things that Zach needs to fix today more than any day. Like it was very clear, but I don't think it's over. I don't. I think it took a hit today. I think we're further away from seeing him become a great quarterback, and the odds of it have went down. But I don't think it's over. I don't think it's like a foregone conclusion that he's a bust or he's not going to be a great quarterback or a franchise quarterback or can't be. I don't think we're there yet. I don't. I can't say that. I can't say that one day made me feel that way. That I could switch from somebody who's still believing in him to a guy who says he can't be good because of one game. I just can't get on board with that. So, am I confident? No. Do I have concerns? Oh, my God. Yeah, I have concerns. Are there things that keep me going and give me hope? His age, he's young. The rest of this season to see how he does. Offensive linemen coming back and getting better. There's things. But today was a long day. A really long day. And I think, I understand why everybody's mad. And I love the enthusiasm, Paul. And I'm trying to get there, man. And I'll get there by Wednesday, I promise. But for right now, I'm in mourning. What is that from Dances with Wolves? I'm in mourning. Don't mind the loss. The issue might be our guy at quarterback. Yeah, that's the scary thing. Like last week, we won and we were sad because of the injuries. This week we lost, but I think we're more upset. The knowledgeable fan would be more upset about the quarterback play more than the loss itself. And I'm saying that because we really it really impacts the future in a major way if he's not the guy. Let's just say that. It's a big problem. We've been looking for a quarterback for how many years? It's a big problem. Zach lost the game, no comments, but the talent was there. Yeah, it's never been an issue with talent with me. Never been an issue with talent. It's a question of the mental, the brain, and and everything else, all the other intangibles. And is it going to come together? Is it going to come to place? I don't know. But it's hard not to feel right now a little further away from believing it will after watching what we saw. It wasn't easy. I don't know if I'm pronouncing your name right. Gayu? I don't know, but welcome to the channel. And yeah, it's frustrating. It's frustrating when we were in a position to really take over that game. We really were. That pick 6 would have been 17-3. Jones was struggling, couldn't do anything. We could have, they would have been forced to. I don't even want to. It would have been a whole different game, in my opinion. That play getting called back. Oh, that hurts. But that's no excuse for Zach. He simply didn't play well. Yeah, man, we all wanted it. Good to see you, John. Sorry we didn't get it. We'll get over it. Baba Booey. What's going on, Grandizer? We're in a little bit of pain here. Classic heartbreaker for sure. Work to do, work to be done. Look, we go into New England and beat them in their house. I said this year, just split with them. So and it's not impossible. We could beat that team. We're better than them. We are better than they are. Telling you we are. Next time we won't do those blockhead penalties. And honestly, Zach couldn't play any worse. So he's not going to play any worse when he gets into New England. So we'll have more offensive linemen back. We'll have Corey Davis back. We'll be a better team. So I don't know why everybody has us losing. Don't we play? I know we play Buffalo next, but don't we play New England after that? Someone help me out. Because we're going to beat New England the next time we play them. I'm just saying. Raw power. My issue is that we have a solid team that can make a push. The problem is the rest of the team got too good too fast. So now we're sitting here frustrated because it feels like Zach is holding us back. And I don't think the plan was for the team to be this good this quickly. I mean, it's a good thing that they are because we know we have so many of the other pieces in place. And we see everything coming together. The problem is we don't know about quarterback. And hey, welcome to the other 25 other teams in the league or what have you. We're far from the only team that doesn't know if they have it figured out at quarterback. It's really the common big question. I hope he regroups too. It's definitely not one game, but nothing has been this bad. I mean, this game was at a different level than those other games. At those other games, they won. He executed enough and got the job done for them to win. This was a disaster where he made it practically impossible for them to win. So he's the reason they lost, and that's the problem. I don't think Zach shouldn't start next week. Give the kid a break and let him come off the bye. Are you saying that we should bench him so he gets like an extra, 2 weeks off? I'm not saying that's a bad idea, but I will say I don't think they're going to do it. That's the thing. So, wild wave. I think that's the reality. The reality is we could sit and talk about if that's a good move or not, if that move makes sense. But the reality is that they're not going to do it. As long as he's healthy, they're going to ride him out the whole year. It seems to me that everyone on the team is improving except the quarterback position. It's hard to argue that. Do we really think he can fix these silly mistakes in 9 games? Well, I'll tell you what. No. But that doesn't mean we won't see progression and improvement over the next 9 games, which is really what we need to see. Now, take away this game, I think that even though his numbers don't look great, he was better than he was last year. He really was. He was progressing. Because the turnovers were going away. He was being a little bit better at doing what needed to be done. He was playing less hero ball. Today was a big step back, and he's going to have to win us back. He's going to, that's not his main concern is not winning us back. He wants to go out there and help the Jets win and beat Buffalo. We'll see if he's good enough to do it or Buffalo's not an easy game, guys. Looking very Darnold with the critical break. Yeah, that's what it was hard not to think Darnold. It was very hard. Yeah, at least we have Miami rooting for us against the Bills. This loss tore the heart from the fans, so yes, people will overreact. Zach Haynes seem to lose the game for now and have their ammo. It is what it is. Yeah, we knew it. And we knew it before going into the game. We knew it before every game. It's like unless he became a superstar at some point, you know what I mean? Like the Zach haters, and it's pathetic that we have that. I mean, we could be someone who doesn't believe in him, but we literally have Zach haters that root for him to do bad. They're, he has to blossom into a great quarterback, or they'll never go away. And then they're going to say, "I told you so," and pretend they know something because they were right about something that is right 90% of the time. Because how many quarterbacks really work out in this league? You take your shot. You take your shot. We took our shot. I know everyone is getting on Zach, but I don't think the Jets have a top 10 player on offense now. Hall and AVT are out. Maybe Conklin is close. It's arguable. Well, I mean, we still have good players. But look, we did lose the special player. The two most special players. The Breece Hall thing hurts. There's no denying it. It hurts to lose a player like that. But you got to rally as a team. Michael Carter's still a good running back. James Robinson's a good running back. We got to get the tackles back. We got to get our offensive line more healthy. And we have to make a fight out of it this year. And if we only get 9 wins, 10 wins, if we get 9 wins, it'll hurt. Well, the process will hurt. But after the season, we'll be able to say we went from 2 wins to 4 wins to 9 wins. If we finish over 500, 9-8, it'll be amazing. It'll suck because we were 5-2 at one point. I get it. But at the end of the day, all those guys are coming back, and the future is still bright. That's why we just need to focus on Zach being good, because the future is still bright if Zach could just improve. The Florida game plan was awful. 41 passes, 15 rushes. Where's the balance? Yeah, I don't understand. I really don't understand why we were so quick to abandon the run. And I thought it was working early. I thought there was a chance. Sometimes you got to give yourself to wear a defense down, and we certainly didn't do that. The part of the problem is you have to create successful plans. Yeah, but all teams have horrendous games sometimes, bad games, and play poorly, and it is what it is. That was the game we should have won. We should have. And we ended up just walking away with 10 points, which is just ridiculous. It's the first time I've ever seen this system in place where the second year you don't have a big uptake in points. It's terrifying. It's like the Jets are going to be the first team not to be able to effectively run the West Coast offense. It's really just, the Shanahan version of it at least. Okay, run game was not there today. We missed Breece already. Yeah, but we got a block. The run blocking was awful. It really was. Before I tried to lean on Zach, now that Breece is gone, and he leaned hard. Yeah, he definitely leaned too hard. He has running backs. There's no reason. I think it's the loss of AVT, though, more than anything. I'm telling you, I don't know what Breece could have done either. Like the way, there was nothing today. Today was the first time I felt like Zach might not be the guy. It sucks. This one hurt. Yeah, I'm with you. Yeah. But the question is, can Zach be that decent quarterback, JC? That's the question. I agree. We need to O-line help. Yeah, we need the help. I wonder if we'll see a trade. I have a friend who thinks that Elijah Moore is going to get traded. Honest to God. He's convinced that Elijah Moore will be traded by Tuesday. We'll see. Pats after the bye. Okay. Bills then Pats. Why is everyone so confused? We're so convinced we're going to lose to the Pats the second time we play them. I think we're better. We played like crap today and made stupid mistakes, and we got a bad call against us. Not that the call was actually the right call based on the rule. It's the rule that's stupid. So JFM is an idiot because he didn't have to push the quarterback down, right? He's got to stop that nonsense. Quarterback gets rid of the ball. You dodge him like he's a punter. Stop hitting him. Don't hit the other team's quarterback unless they're holding the ball. And don't use your helmet. I mean, they just got to figure that out. Otherwise, it's a 17-3 game, and we're not sitting here having this conversation. But we're going to beat them. We're going to beat them the next time we play them. Do not give up on that. We're going to beat them. We are better than them, and we're going to beat them. We're going to take it to them next game. I believe that. I don't think we're going to beat Buffalo. I think we're going to go 5-4, and then we're going to go 6-4, and then give us the final 7 games. See if we can go 4-3. That's how I'm planning out the season in my head. I'm not going to sit there and pretend there's any chance we're going to win next week. But then again, they play the game for a reason. Yeah, Pats again after the bye. Road Warriors will still be alive. Yeah, I mean, we're good on the road, right, New Zealand? We're good on the road. I might. By the way, I just bought one of those boomerang meat pies. It's the traditional classic beef meat pie. Cannot wait. On another note, why was Moore benched most of the game? He seems uninterested. That's why I think he might get traded. I don't know. I honestly don't know. And Salah was like, I mean, it was if Salah was ever a liar, like if he ever lied to us, it was never so evident at this time. He literally said that goes, there a reason Elijah didn't only play 4 snaps. Was it because of what happened? And he goes, no. Because we just couldn't seem to get him into the game. Like, what are you talking about? There's no Corey Davis. And Jeff Smith played more snaps than Elijah or as many. He played 4 snaps. Don't tell me. It's either had to do it last week or something went on again. Like, don't tell us, no, you just couldn't work him into the game. What are you talking about? Suddenly Elijah Moore is going to be getting 4 snaps a game. He's a WR5 now or a WR4. Like, are you out of your minds? Like, we're supposed to believe that nonsense? I'm telling you, that's why Dom C said it, and I believe it. He's getting traded. It's the only explanation in my mind. They're trading him. I don't know. I thought you're supposed to display him, though, before you trade somebody. Like, why didn't they bring him in the 4th quarter and try to get some passes his way? Get his value up a little. But let's just say it's not a good situation that Elijah Moore played 4 snaps. Like, something's definitely going on. Like, it doesn't make any sense. You just told your offensive coordinator that he can rely on you. Oh, you just told your offensive coordinator that he can't rely on you. Oh, is that your reason for Elijah Moore only getting 4 snaps? Or is that the Zach Wilson? I can't tell because you guys talk to each other, and I don't know what it's in reference to. Zach was a tad. Was that tad ornery? I'm sorry, I can't. My glasses, and I got the game on instead of the, Oh, can I zoom in? Oh, I can. Zad was a tad ornery at today's conference. Ornery? I got to look that word up. Salty Nalty. Just stick with Zach. Don't panic yet. Yeah, I mean, look, you got to start Zach, and they're going to start Zach. Talking about Strevler and everything, it's all just a waste of time. I won't do it. Like, I won't entertain talks of Mike White and Strevler because unless they completely do a 180, it's not going to happen. They're going to start Zach every single game, and they're going to so they can make some kind of decision. If he plays like he did, if he continues to regress and he's a disaster, they will draft another quarterback or get another quarterback. If he starts to progress and get better, then he's going to start every game next year. And he would have to play like today every game for them to draft a quarterback or think of another quarterback. Really. Like, he'd have to play so bad. We're not even close to that yet. So please, people, let's not go there yet. Zach is going to be unfortunate. Yeah, it's not going to be pretty, although we'll see what we do. I don't know. I can't even imagine what next game is going to look like. I can't even imagine it. It's like, it's hard. I guess we can just hope that Buffalo's having a good game now, and maybe they just come in flat. Benching him doesn't do anything. Exactly. It does nothing except leave us in question, right? Yeah, treat him like you did Geno. So then in 8 years, we could watch him be a better quarterback than the one we have. I mean, we're not giving up on him yet, guys. The coaching staff isn't doing it. They're going to give him more of a chance. They put a 2nd-round pick into this kid. They believe in him. They took him 2nd overall. They put a 1st-round, 2nd-round overall pick in him. They're not giving up on him that fast. It's just that simple. They're going to keep playing him. And they're going to see if he gets better. Yeah, but they're not going to. I know that you want to, but they're not going to. That's the thing. It's just not going to happen. We could sit and talk about it all day long. It's just you're not going to see Strevler. They're not going to bench Zach Wilson and start Strevler. Solid just said today that Mike White is now the number 2 quarterback. He's the number 2. What's up, guys? Pat fans already taking Snack like they'll do anything this year. They're talking smack like they'll do anything this year. Yeah, well, we'll beat them in their house, and that'll end that. If we don't, then they're right. We should shut our mouths and just be humiliated, right? I mean, we have another chance to beat them, so we got to go and do it, and then we'll shut them up. And if we don't go out and beat them, then we should shut up, and they shouldn't. Why should they? Right? So just wait our time. It's going to happen. Our time will come. We will get them. We will go into their house, and we're going to beat them. I'm telling you, we're going to beat them. I believe in this team, and we're pissed, and we're going to come in with a different mentality, and we're not going to lose to them. We're going to beat them. You'll see. Why not get the ball more at the line of scrimmage just to get them involved? Yeah, why put Jeff Smith? You know how many times I saw Jeff Smith in the game? Why would you put Jeff Smith in over Elijah Moore unless something's going on? Don't tell me that he's the better talented guy for a certain play. It's all baloney. They're not telling us what's really going on. So we're either going to see him get traded, or something's going to happen because something is off. Either that or he's in the doghouse and it was an agreed upon thing. Like, you're not going to play a lot. When he hits 3 picks in a game, I think you have to go to whoever the backup is. Yeah, we did quite, there was talk of that. Like, do they bench him and bring somebody in? I think the fact that they didn't will tell you that he's going to play the rest of the season if healthy. And it's just that simple. He keeps missing receivers 6 yards away from him. Why? I don't know. He didn't in BYU. You could watch. He didn't. I watched all his games at BYU. He didn't do that. I don't understand why he can't throw a 6-yard pass. It's a good question, Billy. I don't have an answer. I don't know why he can't throw a 6-yard pass anymore consistently. It makes no sense. And it's got to be in his head. It's got to be psychological. We'll see them again in 3 weeks. So you guys think we'll have no chance against Buffalo? I don't see much of a chance against. Honestly, I don't. I'm not predicting a Jet win. This will be like, I always predict them to win, but not against Buffalo. I'm sorry. There's no way. There's no way you could sit here and explain. Like, I can't. Like, if you're talking not as a fan, forget about talking as a fan. If you're talking about a football fan, not as a Jet fan, but a fan of football, someone who thinks about football. How do the Jets beat Buffalo? Their quarterback is 1,000,000 times better right now than our quarterback. Their defensive line is very, very tough. They cause pressure. They're very good defensively, excellent defensively. They're going to put tons of pressure on Zach. Offensively, like I said, they have an elite quarterback. They have great receivers. They are going to, it's just hard to imagine how we'll even win. We'll have to play the best we've played. Like, it would have to be the best version of ourselves. It would have to be our defense. Well, our defense actually looked good today. So it would have to be our defense going absolutely crazy with pressure on Josh Allen. Like, just make all game long. We'll have to get sacks all game, pressure on him all day. Nothing. Stop the run hard, no missed tackles. That would keep the game close. And then, I don't know. I don't even know. Special teams, a lucky play, a lucky pass where the guy breaks away. I don't even know. I'll tell you what I do know. They got to get Mims in more because the guy is a monster when he catches the ball. When you throw it, he's not afraid to go in the middle of the field. He's not afraid to go up and get it. And then he's not afraid to come down and run and get yards. He's got like 2 receptions for 78 yards. How about we get this guy the ball more? He's a big play guy. Get him the ball. I don't know what they're doing. Like, if today didn't prove it, what will? Get this guy the ball. Why can't they get Denzel Mims the ball more? We're talking about Elijah Moore. It's crazy. I forgot about Mims. Like, what does it have to? What is it going to take for them to throw the ball to a guy who's 4'3", 6"? He runs a 4'3", 6'3". You don't think that's going to help Zach? Get him the ball. Call plays that make him the first progression. Get him the ball. He makes contested catches. Just throw it to him. So frustrating. Jeff Smith. That's who we're playing. Jeff Smith. My God, he stinks. I know he made a catch, but look at his overall production. Give me a break. The 2020 Jets have Jeff Smith. God, it makes me mad. You saw Mims on those 2 plays. Why aren't they getting the ball to him more? Do you see what he does? He did that his first season too. Get him the ball. I don't know what he did to get in their doghouse. But JFM isn't in the doghouse, and JFM has cost us possibly 2 games with this bonehead hit the quarterback late crap. It's killing me. I don't understand why we're not all screaming about that, right? Now the Mims haters, I want to hear what they say now. Oh, it was only 2 receptions. How many snaps did he get? Give the guy a chance. He wasn't wide open. Watch the play. He's an elite athlete. He's fast. He's strong. He's tall. Get him the ball. Can we at least try to win? Unbelievable. Corey Davis is out. We still can't get Mims in there. Yeah, I mean, that would be the argument of why you take Zach out now. You conveniently remove him for the Buffalo game because you don't want to crush his confidence, but they won't. I'm not saying you're wrong. Keep in mind, I want to keep saying that. I'm not saying anybody who says rest Zach for a week, give him 2 weeks off, and let him come back is wrong. I'm not. I'm just saying I'm about 95% sure that they're just not going to do it. So, you know what I mean? We could talk about it and what the benefits would be, but I just don't see any chance of it happening. I just don't see them benching him. So, tell me how you feel. Pissed. That's how I feel. I feel pissed. Cheated. We were the better team. We had the better players on the field. We were better than them. We're better than them. We should have won. Yeah, I mean, I don't know why some coaches pull their quarterback when they're when they're playing really bad, and some don't. Maybe they don't want to mess with his head. Maybe they didn't. Maybe, for a while up until the end, up until like 9 minutes, 8 minutes, fourth quarter, 7 minutes. By that point, it was kind of like too late anyway. Maybe they felt, what's the point? Maybe they like that last drive, the last touchdown he got. Maybe they think that's a good thing. Maybe it is. Maybe that helped getting those reps, making the big play, the big pass to Mims, and to Conklin. Maybe that was a good thing for our offense, even though it was, some people might say it was garbage time. I don't know. It was good passes. It was good play. It was a great pass by him. It doesn't take that fact away. It was into coverage. It wasn't like they weren't being covered. So I don't know. I mean, I'm glad that they didn't, because I'm glad that he at least got to have that last drive and touchdown. I don't know if it means anything or not, but it could. It's possible that drive matters. It's possible it gave him a taste of something, So, but, I don't know. People were saying it, right, on Green Bean's cast, and I was quiet about it. I didn't know. I was kind of on the fence whether benching him was a good idea. Those hints were horrible. He really needs to get his footing right. Yeah, the footing is really bad. I think he just relies on just the wrist and the arm too much. And then sometimes when you see him really plant and try to have good form, he'll make an excellent pass in the pocket up the middle. Like he did that. And look at his footwork. So when his footwork is good and he stays in the pocket and he keeps that right and he does everything right with his hips and has good mechanics, good things happen. So it's fixable. But at some point, you got to start wondering when he's going to allow it to be fixed. JD hasn't made any mistakes, but I think he may have jumped the gun on the Jets extension. I'm over that guy. Oh, the JFM extension. Look, the penalties are painful, but he's playing really well. Like, aside from that play, he played really well. But that play is that play. That play was a game-costing play. Even though the focus will be on how Zach Wilson played, If we are up 17-3, it's a different football game. Right? It's a different football game. It's, even if the same thing happened in the second half, okay, we win 24-22. Or no, 24-19. It wouldn't have been different. It wouldn't have been the same. It would have been different. But the point is that we wouldn't have lost all the momentum, and we just melted down after that. That they could sit there, and I hate it when the coach has to deny everything. No, I don't think that really impacted the rest of the game. Yes, it did. It drained them. They were a different team after that penalty. There's no way it wasn't that. They were fired up, pumped up, playing crazy, throwing themselves all over the place. Then that play happened, and we were dead, flatlined. Flatlined. Anybody who says that play didn't, that penalty didn't matter, it mattered. Oh yeah, it mattered. Awful. It was absolutely brutal. So have I, man. Me too, Raw Power. We're in the same boat, you and me. Same boat. I've been so big on Zach, and I said it during the game to Green Bay. And I said, I don't know how long I could keep. Like, how could I do this? At some point, I have to wake up. At some point, he has to show us something. Today was disgusting. There's just no explanation. There's no excuse anyone can make. He played like just absolute garbage. And yet he made some great plays during the game with it. So it's so weird. He needs to stop with the hero ball. Yeah, man. He needs to stop with the hero ball. He does. And I don't know why they abandoned the run. It's baffling to me. Baffling. Well, you hope Buffalo's a horrible game. Well, they're certainly not playing horrible now. Man, the Packers, every time the Packers lose, it's like it takes away something from our win. Yeah, there you go. We lost 19-0 after that penalty. Nobody can tell me that penalty, aside from the 10-point swing, it wasn't more than that. No one can convince me of that. The entire mentality, attitude, feeling, the feel of the game, watching the players play, it was a different game. We went back to being last year's Jets. We played like everything we had accomplished went away on that play. It was a killer. It was a killer play. Like, just destroyed us. Yeah, look, Zach, you know what Zach's got to do? He's got to not turn the ball over. If he gets sacked 5 times because we can't block Buffalo, it's not on him. If he has to run away and throw the ball every time, I know there are people who don't understand football that will say he sucks, but he doesn't if he does that. If we're not blocking for him and they're coming right through and he has to constantly run to the sideline and he escapes and he throws the ball every way, he keeps throwing the ball away, that's not him sucking. That's Mike LaFleur sucking because Mike LaFleur is not figuring out a way to help him. If he's throwing the ball and throwing interceptions, then he's sucking. If he's running to the sideline and then he throws the ball sideways with this stupid wrist flick and it goes into the hands of a Buffalo Bill, that's his fault. So we have to recognize the difference. If you see Zach running for his life because there's no pass protection. Now, if he's in the pocket and has 3 or 4 good seconds, he's just like this for 3 or 4 seconds, I'm starting to wonder, is the guy capable of going through his progressions? But we don't see a lot of that. How often do you see Zach in a nice, clean pocket, looking and having some amount of time, like every other freaking NFL quarterback in the league? He doesn't get that many opportunities. He really doesn't. But I am not excusing the way he played today, because there were plays today where he did have the time and he couldn't complete an 8-yard pass. And I don't understand it. That's another thing. What the F is LaFleur doing? Why is Zach's mechanics so bad? He can't complete a 5-yard jump. He has a lot of talent. He needs to get his coach. Remember last year they brought in his coach? They got to do that again. They need to pay the man whatever he needs to get paid. Woody Johnson needs to pull up the buck and pay that coach and say, you're no longer a quarterback coach for young college kids. You're Zach Wilson's coach. And we're going to pay you whatever it takes. You're his full-time coach. You're going to be on the sideline. You're there because Zach Wilson plays better with this coach. There's one coach that we know of that it's his coach. It's his private coach. The guy who made him into a success. That's the only guy that seems to be able to. It's like Mike Tyson with Customato. He needs his coach. Only one guy knows how to work with him, apparently. Did you see Zach and Moore comments? I did not see Moore's comments. I listened to Zach's press conference, and I guess it's not a horrible thing that he's not saying I stink, but he's like he was explaining the interceptions. He was saying how frustrating it is when he has to run to the sideline and throw it out of bounds, but he needs to do a better job at it. But I did not hear anything from Elijah Moore. So, but if he's going to be traded, he's going to be traded by Tuesday. So don't be shocked. But I really would like to, if you have any news on anything that Elijah Moore said, please put it in the chat because I know nothing about it. Billy C, what makes you say we'll lose to the Pats today and beat them on their own turf? What makes me say that? Because we're better. And I just feel it. And I believe it. I mean, look, I'm not pretending to know any more than you, Billy. I'm just telling you, we have an opinion. You might think they're going to lose. Oh, we lost at home. We're going to lose. And I'm saying we're going to beat them. I'm going to say Zach is better on the road. Maybe it's mental, psychological. He can't play in front of the fans. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. I just think we're going to beat them. Or I believe we're going to beat them. I believe we can beat them. I'm a Jeff fan. Why would I think we can't beat that team? We should have crushed them today. We should have went up 17-3, and we should have been in position to crush them. And we'll have more players back. Corey Davis will be there. That's his favorite target. Also, aside from Corey Davis, we'll have Mitchell or Fant back, maybe both. So maybe our offensive line is bulked up. So we're going to be a better team. James Robinson will have more time to be on the offense and learn our system and learn our plays. That's why. Am I saying I'm smarter than you? No. Am I telling you to go out and bet money on it? No. I'm just, you know me, I come out here and I'm honest. I think we're going to beat the Pats in their stadium. I think we're going to go in there and we're going to punch them in the mouth and beat them. I'm stand by it. If they lose, then I'll say I was wrong and I'll be bummed. But I'm saying it. We're going to beat the Patriots. This is not going to go on another year. We're going to beat them. We're a better team than they are. Hands down, we are better. Nothing about that game made me think we weren't better. All I thought about that game is that Zach Wilson has a lot of work to do. Otherwise, he's just not going to be our quarterback. And we need to stop making stupid bonehead penalties. That's what that game left me feeling. Because that penalty and that play, calling back that interception touchdown, ended our team today. And we're going to learn from that, and it's not going to happen the next time. It's not going to happen next time. We're going to go in and we're going to beat them. That's what I believe. I fully believe it. We're going to beat them. Packers need Elijah, and they need a first and third. Yeah. You look. Just what do they got to give us? Just give us the goods. Give us the draft capital. And we'll give them Elijah. It breaks my heart to say it, but, we just can't hold on to him like Mims and destroy him and wait until he has no value at all. Right now, if we give Elijah 4 snaps a game the rest of the season, all his value is gone. He's a 5th round pick. That's what we trade him for. Maybe now we actually get something for him. Maybe now we can get something for him. So if that's the plan with him, that we're not going to use him, trade him. Because you just can't keep wasting talent. They asked Moore after the game what his relationship with Zach, and he said he doesn't know. He don't get the ball. I don't know why he's blaming Zach. He was in for 4 plays. Yeah, did he expect those 4 plays to get the ball? But, if he keeps saying stuff like that, they just got to trade him. Just trade him. Don't even let him come out to practice. Don't let him have another meltdown. Just trade him. Tomorrow morning, get on the phone, Joe, and trade him before he has another one of his meltdowns. And then he'll sit there and say, God's plan, and he'll celebrate the trade, and he'll say how he's free. And if he goes there and he plays great, then he was right. And if he goes there and stinks, then screw him. Jeremy, would you be happy or upset if the Jets trade Elijah Moore to the Rams for Cam Akers? Isn't Cam Akers gone already? Trade one disgruntled player for another. Change of scenery may help. I thought Cam Akers was already traded. He wasn't. I don't know what we can do with Cam Akers, to be honest. We got James Robinson. We got Michael Carter. Then the year ends and Breece Hall comes back, and then we still could have James Robinson. Like he's a restricted free agent. We could put like a second-year tenure on him. No one's taking him, and then we only have to pay him like $2.5 million with a second-round tenure. And there's no way anybody's taking. And if they do take him, fine, give us a second-round pick. We'll take another running back with a second-round pick. So, and no one's going to do that. No one's going to give up a second-round pick and pay James Robinson. Like, we're going to have him. And Breece Hall, we don't know if he's going to be ready game one, but he'll be ready at some point next season. So we already got a three-headed monster running attack. Like, the skill and talent at running back is there. Don't anybody get it in their head that Breece Hall is going anywhere or anything bad's going to happen with Breece Hall. Breece Hall will be fine. I promise you that. Nothing bad's going to happen in the long run with Breece Hall. He's going to come back and be a great running back for us. So I would say that we would more likely trade for an offensive lineman if we traded Elijah Moore, or I don't know, a safety, or like what do you guys think? Maybe a guard would, that's better than the guy we have, Herberg, who's a good backup but maybe not the best starter. I don't know. I'll let JD figure that out. He seems to know a lot more than I do when it comes to that. He has no problem putting talent on our squad. We just can't keep him healthy, and we don't seem to be able to coach all of them. Belichick's got our number now. The Pats have confidence now. The next game will be harder to beat them. Look, I'm not. That's your take, man. I know you're feeling that way right now. I just don't feel that way. I feel like, if anything, we get better. The teams get better when they face Belichick again sometimes, Remember, we got crushed by them and killed them 2 weeks later. I remember the New York Giants lost to them in the regular season and beat them in the Super Bowl. I see plenty of times when a team plays them for the second time. Buffalo played them the third time. Buffalo played them. It was in the playoffs last year, and they crushed them. So, and they absolutely slaughtered them. So I don't think so. I think that we beat them. Like, I think we're better than them. That's why. If I thought they were the better team today, I might not feel this way, but I feel that we're the better team. I was confident before that penalty, before the interception, before all that happened, I was confident we were the better team. And because we were, and we are. And then don't even think about the future, Billy. In the future, we're going to crush them. When AVT is back, and next year, when we have a full squad, a full offensive line, healthy again, however it works out and who's playing, but we go against them with a real offensive line, because we're not going to be hurt forever. I know it feels like it, but we're not. We're going to eventually be healthy and play them healthy. Have a full offensive line. Corey Davis will be back. AVT will be back. Breece Hall will be back. And in the future, we're going to crush them. But I say we steal a victory this year. We get 2 games against them to split. I didn't say it. And as a matter of fact, in my predictions, somewhere out there, if I look back in the videos, I actually predicted we'd split the Patriots and it would be the second game on the road that we win. I did. I predicted that. So now it's going to happen. Jacob's asking for everyone's Manscaped shavings. He puts it on his chicken. Oh, my God. You guys are off your rockers. Yeah, look, he's gone then. I mean, it's so crazy. That means that if they don't trade him or get rid of him, that contradicts everything they've said. Everything Saleh says is culture. Everything. So how could you have a cancer? How can you hold on to a cancer? Like, if he walked out of that game saying, Zach doesn't get me the ball, he only played 4 reps. And I got a target. So that's 25% of the reps he played. So, I mean, I don't know what he's talking about. You know what controls whether or not you get them the how often a quarterback throws? Where is he on the progression? Is he the number 1 receiver in the play? Number 2, number 3? Because if you're number 3 receiver in the play, of course he didn't throw you the ball. He had no time. He was running for his life. I'm actually watching a highlight right now. He's sitting there. He waits until Judon gets right on him. And that was the thing. I'm watching it right now. He actually waited until he was practically touching him, even though you saw him coming. Just get rid of the ball. Just throw it this way. Just throw it out of bounds. So unbelievable. It's just unbelievable. It's absolutely unacceptable, Elijah Moore. He totally was either he had a break. I don't know what it is, but he's not the guy he was last year. He's not a character guy, obviously, if he said those things. If he's still saying things like this, he has to go. You can't have a second-year player who hasn't done crap except on paper people swear gets open. I'm sorry. Goodbye. Enough already with this nonsense. We can't trust him going forward. We're trying to build a sustainable, long-term winning franchise. If he's still saying things, you get him out. It might set us back a year. I'm sorry. It sucks. But if we're going to commit to building a long-term successful team, you cannot keep players like that on the team. If he really said that about Zach Wilson, do you get along with Zach Wilson? I don't know. He doesn't throw me the ball. Goodbye. I know it hurts, but you got to do that. You can't hold on to players that are like that. That's losers. You're a loser team if you do that. Guys, JFM penalty negating the pick six was the play of the game. Yeah, that and some horrible Zach play. But that play changed the game. There's no question about it. It changed the game. We're going to beat them next time. Illegal beast mode. Trade more for Orwell. Zach doesn't target him anyway. Yeah, I mean, if they get an offensive lineman that can play, I'm not going to argue. I think the solution is if Zach doesn't have an open wide receiver, he should throw the ball to LaFleur in the booth. Be better than throwing it on the field where it gets intercepted. Just rewatch Pats took it. Their backs ran hard. Believes sending was a factor. Jets O-line looking to the third. Not sold on Zach either. Way out. We'll see. Well, when we beat them in 2 weeks, you'll all say I was right. You'll all see. In 3 weeks, you'll see when we go in and we beat their ass. It'll most likely be Miami getting that wild card spot if Tua stays healthy. Yeah. They're good when Tua's playing. They win when Tua is starting. There's no question about that. Gase gave us Zach Wilson, and we're cruising for Trevor Lawrence. We were cruising for Trevor Lawrence. I don't know. Do we even know Trevor's the guy yet? The Pats were in Zach's head. Well, they are in his head right now. They own him right now. You know, obviously, we can't deny that. If we only had 8 years. Trevor ain't looking so good. It's true. He's not a super fast runner. He runs like a 4.6. He's more of a one cut, run hard, north-south kind of guy, 5, 6, 7 yards. You know what I mean? He had no holes. If you watch back, you'll see if we watch back the all 22, which we probably will, you'll see that it's not like he was missing holes. There was nothing there. The fact that they activated or elevated Strevler off the practice squad, and the fact that they're calling Mike White the second string quarterback means that Flacco might be getting traded. I'm just trying to figure out who's interested in him, like who wants him. Did anybody get an injured quarterback today? Who's looking? That's my question. Who's looking? Who's looking for a quarterback? I'm not really sure. So if you can answer me that, who wants Flacco? I don't know. But maybe we trade him. What are we going to get for him? A 7th rounder? It is JD, but I can't imagine anybody giving a 7th rounder more than a 7th round pick for Flacco. I mean, he's a nothing. He's just a journeyman quarterback now. He's not worth anything. Geno balling now. It's amazing. Yeah, well, we gave up on him after his second year. And his last game against Miami, he crushed him and played great. I never understood that. But yeah, we'll see how he does though. You got to finish. You know, he's had a good start to the year. We'll see where he ends. As a quarterback, you need to read the field at 3 levels: short, intermediate, deep. Needs to be read in that order. Seems that Zach starts with the deep level. Yeah, I agree. I can't argue with that. Guy seems to not want to take what the defense gives him. What if we take all of our anger out on Buffalo and have a bad game against the Pats again? Well, if we beat Buffalo and lose to the Pats, we'll be pissed because but if we beat Buffalo, then we're gonna all think we should beat the Pats. Like we're never gonna be happy as a fan base. But look, one game at a time. One game at a time. Next week is I don't even know what to expect next week. I honestly don't. It's not gonna be pretty. Jingle Dubs. When Zach makes a mistake, he panics and can't get out of his own head. It's not a good sign. No, it is not. The Zach hate is over the top. Yeah, I don't hate him from here, but I know what you're saying. And people hated him even before today's game. I mean, hate him. He's playing out the season. Just support him and find another team. This wave of negativity is why we suck since Namath. Well, you think we cause it? You think the fans cause it? I don't know. Maybe it gets into the locker room. We're okay. We won a bunch of games in a row, and now we lost the game. I mean, we got to put it in perspective. 5-3 at the moment, right? Can we just acknowledge that? More for a swing tackle in his 4th year of limited playing time. Okay. Waste. I hope Zach figures it out because the Bills are up to 21 points before the half. Yep. Bills are good. And it's not like Green Bay doesn't have a good defense, so we're going to be in trouble. I know the history of the Jets. They'll lose this game today and show up and whip Buffalo 35-17. Well, if they do that, I'm not going to complain. Josh Allen gets hurt tonight. Well, I won't root for that because I don't root for injuries, but if he does, he does. Vikings, Bills, Super Bowl. Very possible. I think the Eagles look pretty good, though. Only way we beat them. Okay, got to jump ahead a little bit. How far behind am I? Pretty far behind. Let's go all the way down to here to John Nolte. Oh, there's some guy over here. Jeremy, I'm surprised some people aren't happy Zach finally passed for 350 yards. We were saying that, by the way. I don't think we weren't noticing that. CJ Mosley, 10 tackles today. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. On those plays when Zach should just take off and run, why won't he? Yeah, it seems like he only likes to run backwards. That's something we've noticed. Maybe he needs to start running forward. Today doesn't matter if Buffalo is unstoppable. Yeah, well, each day is different, right? Luke Skywalker. Anyone with a brain would have taken 5-4 at the bye, and we are playing with house money. If we beat the Bills, then wow. If not, whatever. A lot of football left. Well, Luke, that's why I'm saying, if we lose to the Bills and then we go beat New England, which I believe we can do, and we're 6-4, I'm feeling pretty good. Because if you would have told me before the season that we were 6-4 after 10 games and only had to go 4-3 in the final 7, when you look at that schedule, I'd be pretty excited about it. So, I mean, we're going in the right direction. People, it's Sunday after a big loss to New England. So people are out of their mind. Most of the fan base will calm down and will realize what we should be happy for and grateful for. I'm telling you, preparing for a New England game was harder for them preparing for Buffalo. I think so. Even though Buffalo has so much more talent, New England, man, Belichick. I just think we overthink it, though. I think the reason the Bears beat New England is because they didn't overthink it. Just went out and beat them. Yeah, that was an awful fourth quarter. Here's something to look at. We all agree that Zach Williams' mechanics hasn't gotten better. Some may say they are looking worse. Footwork. That's what they said about Rob Kilmer. I just think they just have to get his coach back. He has a coach, a personal coach. He needs to be there. If he's not, I don't think he's there, and I don't understand why. Just get him his coach. Plays better with his coach. You're saying he's not going to be traded. Okay. We'll see. How many wide receivers are we going to destroy or just not use? We basically drowned Mims for over a year, right? You saw what he did today and what he's capable of when he gets any kind of chance. And now we're going to do it to Elijah. I just don't understand. Well, he needs to play out of the slot then, if it's too short for Zach to see. Moore has every right to be pissed. Look, I'd be pissed too if they didn't tell him you're only playing 4 reps, then yeah, definitely he should be pissed. Like if he came back and they said, okay, let's get back going. He worked hard all week. He thinks everything's normal. He comes out to play the game and plays 4 reps. Hell yeah, he should be pissed. Hell yeah. At least be honest with them. Hey, you're in the doghouse. You might not play a lot today. You know? Yeah, I know, man. It's really bad. It's a bad situation right now with Elijah Moore. You know what I mean? I'm not even going to be mad at him anymore. I just want the situation to end, whether it's trading him or working it out. But they got to work that shit out, man. You can't be a winning team if you have that going on in the locker room. Zach has definitely been missing Corey Davis. Hell yeah, he misses him. We'll see if he comes back next week. He'll definitely be back after the bye, I would think. If the Jets go to the playoffs, they might play the Bills 3 times. Should be a priority to beat the Bills at least once. I hope so, John. It's just a matter of if are we good enough yet? Are we good enough to do it? Zach's going to have to play a lot better. He's going to have to figure out a way to keep his cool and not melt down because he melted down today. It was a meltdown. It was a complete meltdown. I didn't hit any hot sauce. Am I looking red today? Maybe I'm just angry. It's amazing. I don't get the ball. Yeah, that's his attitude. I don't get the ball. I just can't believe he said it public again. That might set off real fireworks. We'll see. I believe we can finish the year 9-8 with a lot of positives heading into next year. You know what? The ride might hurt and be painful, Sean, but the positive has to be that Zach has to play better. If Zach comes back from the bye, for example, and plays much better, and much less turnovers, more touchdown passes, and he just plays better. Much, much better. And then we can walk away 9-8, 10-7, and feel really good. We could. I just can't wait to be healthy again. I can't wait to have AVT back and Breece Hall back. I just hate losing guys like that for the season. It's so painful. Maybe we just have it's because we have that crappy stadium. Maybe they sent it too. I don't know, man. It's just a miserable place. MetLife is a miserable place. It's like I don't know. Maybe it's like the ghost of Jimmy Hoffa or something. Could Becton possibly be recovered if we make a playoff run? That's an interesting question. Because they said out for season, didn't they? I don't know. I doubt it. From what we know about him, it seems that he's definitely a slow healer. But I don't know. But it's an interesting question because I didn't know. I think they said 100% out for the year because they put him on IR before the cuts, I think, which means I don't even think he's eligible. But someone could correct me if I'm wrong about that. MLF needs to run the ball more. He went with bad odds. Yeah. I don't love the game plan today, specifically the second half. They definitely got, were nothing in the second half. I agree with Moore, but coaches aren't going to be like, The Jets are a road team. Yeah. I don't mind being a road team because if we make the playoffs, it's going to be all road games. We need to play for the rest of the year on the road. Yeah. That's what sucks. It's like we want to go to a game and see them win, but it's like they got to play in MetLife and they just suck at MetLife. It's like we have no home field advantage. Only reason why we can beat Buffalo is because of quarterback. What do you mean? Allen's not hurt, is he? Did you mean to say why we can't beat them? Oh yeah, okay. Yeah, you meant to say. Really? I mean, I think it's more than just quarterback. I mean, I think that Josh Allen's amazing, but you don't think Buffalo has they're further along in their rebuild? They've been together longer. They play better, in other areas. I don't know. I'm not judging you. I'm just saying. I'm just questioning, challenging. I take a second for Elijah. Oh, in a second. Let's get our second round pick back. In a second. Yeah, you take that second pick back. Guys talking all kinds of crap. I mean, like John, I own an Elijah jersey. No one wants Elijah Moore to be successful more than I do. But if it fell apart, even if it's our fault. So when I say trade him, I'm not saying that means it's Elijah's fault. I'm saying whatever it is, it is. If they've destroyed the relationship, they've destroyed the relationship. You know what I mean? It is what it is. If that's what it is, then that's what it is. I'm sorry I'm doing that. I'm sitting right in front of the TV and I'm trying to see the score. Because Green Bay just scored a touchdown. It's going to be 24-14. So that would be, oh no, there's a penalty. Oh my God. Pathetic. Luke Skywalker. Becton will be 450 pounds by the playoffs. We beat the Bills this coming week. I'll start to believe, but right now, hell no. Well, again, I mean, what can we say? I didn't expect to be 5-2. I didn't expect to be 5-3. So we won 5 games before the bye. That was the goal. That was the dream. When they poured the first front entrance concrete, they had Joe Namath put his hands in it. That's my theory. The Joe Namath curse. We don't need more anymore. Mims is fine. I hate selfish players. Maybe. Mims looked pretty good to me. He attempted to throw the ball to Elijah Moore, but it was batted down. Yeah, I saw that play. J. Cole, you were oh my God. Okay. John Nolte has been battling J. Cole for so long. The coaches are not using Moore the right way. Okay. Well, I think that they're too focused on one receiver every game. Like, why does it have to be a new receiver each game? Why can't it be mixing up the plays where you change who's your number one in the progression? Why can't there be plays where Moore's the first place he looks, then Garrett? Like, I don't get it. I don't feel like it's being, it's hard to argue. It's hard to say that they are using people the right way. But we did win 4 games in a row before today. So there's that. So there's that, at the same there that is a reality too. Some people can argue that it has nothing to do with the coaches and that Joe Douglas has just put a ton of talent in the room. Moore goes to another team that has OC, he'll be fine. I do think he'll be fine. I do. I think he'll be fine. But I don't know, maybe never here. I don't know. But it's I'm not going to sit there and say that Elijah Moore is not super talented and doesn't have potential to be a great wide receiver, because he does. I thought Mims had breakaway speed. The DBs caught up to him real quick. I don't know if he was off balance. I'm not really sure what happened there, but we saw that too. He didn't look fast on that play. That's for sure. I don't know if he was tired. I don't know. I can't tell you what happened to him on that play. But he did bang, and knock his way into some extra, You cannot be serious. You cannot be serious. Oh, my God. I don't even know how to respond to this. Danny, are you kidding me? It's not a meltdown? It's not a meltdown? He just lost this game. He played like garbage. Did you watch the game? Or are you looking at the stats? Did you watch the game? I can't believe this. You're actually going to say, that's a box score fan. You got to watch the game. I'm not going to get into an argument of whether or not he melted down. It was the worst game of his career, aside from the last time he played New England and threw 4 interceptions. He was absolutely horrendous today. Yes, he had some good passes, but you could put any freaking quarterback in the NFL in a game, and they're going to have some good passes. You can't tell me that it wasn't a meltdown because he threw for 350 yards because at the end, it was trash time prevent defense. That's why he threw for all those yards. I'm not saying I want to be completely negative and not look at the positives, but don't tell me that that's the quarterback you want. Because if you think that that's the quarterback, the way he played today, is how you want him to play every week because he threw for 350 yards, enjoy 0-17 because you do not win in this league the way Zach Wilson played. You simply do not. I'm sorry. He's got to play better. I would love for him to get 350 yards every game and throw 2 touchdowns every game. But you got to take away the 3 interceptions. And you got to be a little bit more consistent and be able to throw an 8-yard pass. I mean, come on. The Bills are going to kill us. Well, that's not thinking very positively. The best thing about Zach Wilson going into next week, the best thing, is that he can only get better because he cannot be worse. Well, you know what? I better knock on wood because I don't know if that's true. But I don't imagine him being worse. I'd keep Mims, trade Elijah Moore, draft another wide receiver, and we'll have Brees back. Yeah, but how many years do we have to draft a wide receiver? When is it going to end? How many years? That's my problem with that. Not that you're wrong, Sean. I'm not saying you're wrong, but my God. We have to draft offensive linemen and wide receivers every year. When do we get to build the team in other areas? I don't know why you call them pretenders. I think they're a young team that's not ready for this year. They're not ready to stand with the big boys. I'm not arguing that. But pretenders? Like, Sauce Gardner is for real. AVT and Brees Hall will be healthy again. Garrett Wilson's for real. Like, their defensive line is for real. Quinnen Williams is for real. Like, Huff is for real. Carl Lawson got a sack today. He's for real. I mean, so I don't know about that. I wouldn't call us pretenders. I'd call us a young team that's not really ready yet to do anything major, make a major push. But I wouldn't sit there and call us pretenders. I would call us just a young team that the rest of the league better look out for. And if you want to underestimate us because eventually we're going to punch you in the face. That's what's going to happen. Because the youth on this team is real. I can tell you that much. Whole offense is a disaster. Jack deserves most. Zach, but LaFleur shouldn't get a pass. No, but an offensive coordinator is never going to get a pass when his quarterback plays horrible and they're bad. You know what I mean? So I can't even look at that. Like he's still asking. He's still asking how you can call it a bad day. Didn't he he completed under 50% of his passes. Oh my God. Look, you could take all the worst quarterback performances in the world. Like you take all bad quarterback performances. And a lot of those performances, they still have good plays. It doesn't mean it was a good game. You know what I mean? Like, even if you take the crappiest quarterbacks in the league, the worst quarterbacks in the NFL, right? The worst 5, they still have games where they can throw for 300 yards and throw some good passes and throw some touchdown passes. It's not how you rate a quarterback. Zach Wilson was not accurate today. And he threw 3 interceptions that were completely his fault. And he gave the game away. That's what happens. Now we're jumping off cliffs, dude. We're jumping off cliffs. Let's not jump off cliffs, okay? We lost the game. We won 4 in a row. We lost the game. Let's not jump off the cliff. I know that Buffalo is going to be tough, and I know that it might look like a loss in 5-4. Okay, that won't put us in last place. And then we're gonna beat New England the next time we play them. We're gonna be 6-4, and we're gonna be thinking playoffs. We're gonna be in that graphic that says playoff picture. So everyone's got to stop panicking. Everyone's got to stop panicking. How can I have a podcast when I'm the most negative Jet fan? Who are you talking to? I'm sitting here saying we're going to beat New England in 2 weeks, in 3 weeks. How am I negative? For telling the truth of what I feel? Do you think I'm the only Jet fan? You think it's a podcaster's job to lie and sit there and say we shouldn't be concerned? Like, what am I supposed to say after today? Am I supposed to say Zach Wilson's great? I still guarantee no one has been more positive or believed more in Zach Wilson than me. I'm just being honest. Of course we're going to have doubts. How could we not have doubts that Zach Wilson now after I mean, at what point do we get to see the growth and the progression? But to say that I'm negative, are you listening to like all of my podcasts? Because I'm way on the side of positive. And anybody here that knows me will tell you that. I'm a positive Jet fan. But don't sit here. What do you want me to say? You want me to say that Zach Wilson's great? You want me to say that he's our franchise quarterback and we don't have to worry about it? You want me to say that we played great today? I'm sitting here telling everybody not to jump off a cliff. I'm sitting here telling everybody that we're still 5-3. We still won more games than we thought. And even if we go 5-4 and beat New England like I say we're going to be 6-4. And that's, if you told me in the beginning of the year we'd be 6-4, I'd be thrilled. I'm the guy still saying that. So I don't know where you're getting this, that I'm the most negative Jet fan, bro. Do you know any Jet fans? Like, are you a part of our world? Like, what are you talking about? Are you talking to a different Jeremy and I don't know it? Like, who are you talking to? I mean, this is just flat out just wrong. Unless you're being sarcastic. I don't know what you're talking about, dude. Because I'm probably right now in the top 10% of positive. Most other people are sitting here saying that the season's over and we're going to go right to last place. And I'm sitting here saying it's one game. But at the same time, I'm saying Zach will have a lot of work to do, and we should be very concerned. Very concerned. Yes, he can throw a short pass. I'm sure that Streveler can throw a short pass. But like I was saying before, there's no possible way we're going to find out in the real game because they're simply not going to play him. Even if you think he should, and I'm not even criticizing it. I'm not even going to judge it anymore. If people want Streveler to play, that's fine. Everybody has the right to their opinion and take. I'm just saying it's not going to happen. You're not going to see Streveler unless Zach Wilson and White get hurt. If they both get injured, then you'll see Streveler play. At times, Zach looked elite today, but when he looked horrible, so hard to see. Yeah, like there's always those little flashes, right? The problem is like, I mean, it's mind-boggling because for 3 or 4 plays or like for a moment, he'll look like the Zach that I believed we drafted, like the Zach that's going to be a top quarterback. And then he'll throw a 6-yard pass and it'll hit the ground before it reaches the receiver. Or he'll throw a ball, with the touch when he tries to loop it in and he just always sails it for an interception. And then he just doesn't get rid of the ball fast enough when he's running around out of the pocket. It's like, just throw the ball out of bounds, please. Oh my God. But that's negative. I'm a negative Jet fan for saying that. For wanting one of my favorite players, the guy I supported more than anyone, to play well. That makes me negative. I don't understand. Like, what language are people speaking? Like, is it not able to translate the English language? Am I talking too fast? Like, I'm a negative Jet. How can a podcaster be such a negative Jet fan? Like, what are you talking about? It doesn't even make sense. Salah's biggest mistake was LaFleur. I don't trust him and the offensive staff to develop Zach properly. He should have brought in a more experienced guy to handle a rookie quarterback. I just want his coach. I'm just saying bring in his coach. I'm just saying bring in Zach's coach. He has a private coach that works magic with him. Zach Wilson was a stud in BYU because of this guy, and he played better last year as soon as they brought this guy in. Where's his coach? Bring in his coach. I'm telling you, there's no question about Zach's talent. The talent is there. He's just got to get his head together. I mean, I'm just waiting for the game where the guy who threw that beautiful pass to Mims, or those beautiful passes he dropped to Conklin, or the touchdown passes, I'm waiting for that quarterback to be that quarterback every drive. Like, it happens, right? Quarterback, I'm not saying every drive, every game forever. I'm saying just give me a game where he's on fire, where he's throwing Give me a game where he plays the quarter he played against Pittsburgh for the whole game. 4 touchdown passes for 400 yards with an 80%. He could do it. He's capable. He has the talent. He does. I just need to see it, and then we can start believing. We can start seeing it. I just want to see it. It's been 17, 18 games, whatever it is. I just want to see him have a good game. 4 good quarters. Is that so much to ask? If he's going to be a great quarterback? Tua has had a great game. He's had a couple of them. Mac Jones has had a great game. Justin Fields has had a great game. At least one I could show you. They're like their best games. Trevor Lawrence has had some great games. When do we get to see Zach Wilson have a great game? I mean, a great game. It's just like, I just want to see it. Our offensive score has improved. Less talent and making. I don't know. I'm not going to turn on him because we're 5-2 and we've won 5 games and we're 5-3. And then New York. When's the last time the Jets were 5-3? So I can't sit here and attack the coaches. I could say I didn't like the way they performed today, but I can't sit there and cry and yell about the coaches because they took over a crappy team last year that was 2-14 the year before. They stripped down the roster. They went 4-13, and now we're 5-3. I feel like we're going in the right direction as a franchise. Sit here and start attacking Mike LaFleur because offensive coordinators have bad games. It's just, it's just the reality. They play bad. He's had a rough stretch. I don't blame him for the last couple of weeks. He did what it took to win. But we gotta take bigger chunks. Let's not take a chunk at a time and judge everyone on that chunk. Let's wait. There's 9 more games. Let's play them. We're not 9 more games, right? Yeah, 9 more games. Let's play them. Let's play the games. See what happens and judge them for the whole collective. You know what I mean? They're bad weeks, man. They're bad weeks. Teams have bad weeks, bad runs, bad 3 weeks. We beat the Rams 2 years ago. We beat the Rams, and then they went and won the Super Bowl the next year. Like all was lost. They were crying and screaming. How could we lose to the Jets? They were acting like the organization was over. Fire the coach, get rid of this, get rid of that. Then they traded for Stafford, whatever, and won a Super Bowl. We're a snap away, guys. A snap away. Being healthy, maybe Zach takes that next step. We're a snap away from this turning into a machine. We could be a 15-2 team next year. I'll say it again. We could be. It's possible. If we would just stay healthy and if Zach can take the next step. If he improves through this year and then comes back next year, no longer making those mistakes, they fix and they work on his mechanics, it is possible that we could be a top team by next year. When you look at how much better we are this year than where we were last year, there's no question that we could be an amazing team next year. Because remember, we're doing all this with crazy injuries. 5 tackles. Every tackle we get goes down. Those are important positions. That's the position that opens up the running game, that protects your quarterback. We're without that. We lost Becton. Then we signed Brown and lost him. We lost Fance. We lost Max Mitchell. We lost AVT. That's 5 guys. 5. So we got to be reasonable. You got to be reasonable. What's going to happen when it's not going to be forever? I know it feels like it will, but eventually we'll always have some injuries. But we're not always going to have that situation. We're not. Next year, we're going to come into the season healthy. AVT will be back. Breece Hall will be back. I don't know who the other tackles are going to be. Max Mitchell for sure. Becton might come back. I know you're all joking. Not joking. Some of you think he's going to be fat. He's going to be out of weight. You don't know that. I'm telling you, there's a chance he might come back 350 in the best shape of his life. It could be. Maybe not. Maybe so. I don't know. Maybe they sign Fant. Maybe Dwayne Brown doesn't come back. I don't know what it's going to look like next year, but at least We're not going to lose 5. It's not going to be a 5 guys going down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's not going to happen a second year in a row. We're going to be better. And we're already 5-3, and I'm saying we're going to be significantly better next year. We're going in the right direction. This franchise has been putrid, and now we're going in the right direction. We cannot let one game have us jump off a cliff and say it's over. We're going back to last place, same old Jets. We can't do that. It's one game. It's one game. And even if we lose next week, what if we play better? Let's see if we play better. We played bad today. We fell apart after that penalty. We played like crap. Let's see what happens. I don't think Zach Wilson's the answer. With Breece Hall, it's looking awful. It's not looking good right now. But nothing is defined. Nothing is completely defined. It's happened before. Quarterbacks have gotten off to a rough start in their careers, and they've turned it around. It's happened before. Zach needs to throw to his receivers open. Yeah. Well, yeah, that would help. They're not going to bench him. You're not going to see Mike White unless that gets hurt. Jets 1-3 at home. That's bad. Yeah, I don't know if it's the teams we're playing, coincidence, or if we just stink at home. Catch up? Okay, I'm going to try to catch up. I like ketchup on my fries. Okay. Wow, I'm far behind. Wow, am I far behind. Sorry, guys. Whoa, let me go. Oh, look at this. Well, thank you, Feed the Rabbit. I appreciate the super chat. We have seen him play well, and his best days are likely in front of him. The JFM penalty negating the pick 6 was the story of the game. 17-3 versus 10-6. Yeah, I said it at the moment. I mean, I can't say it enough times. I said it when it happened. It gave me a bad feeling. Like my whole attitude and feeling in that game changed on that penalty. When they called back that penalty and then they played the replay and I saw what it was, something that didn't even impact the play. Like sometimes it's the penalty, but the play wouldn't have happened. But that was literally a pick 6, clean as can be. And because JFM pushed him at the end, it erased it. And then they kick a field goal. 10 points. 17-3 is a different game. I agree with you. It kills me, man. That's going to torture me forever. That's why I think we can go in 3 weeks and we could beat them. That's why I think we could beat them. I understand you're saying the expectations go up. I know my expectations went up too, right? Instead of saying I'd be happy with 7 to 9 wins, I said 10, 11 wins. I know. I'm not saying that the expectations didn't go up. The expectations went up. And now we're being heartbroken a little bit if we lose next week and we end up only winning 8 or 9. Let's say we win 9 games this year, right? And we'll say we were 5-2 and we only won 9 games. That stinks, blah, 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 right? But then let's say a month goes by and now we're in the offseason. We're looking ahead to the next season. AVT is going to come back. Breece Hall, we find out, is doing well in his rehab. He'll be back on time. Yay! Right? Let's see that happen. Then we'll start getting excited again and we'll say, hey, what if we actually this year don't have 5 tackles go down? I mean, I understand the expectations go up, but Breece Hall was like the franchise-changing reason why we were 5-2, and he's out. And AVT was our most valuable player on offense outside of Breece Hall. And he's out. That impacts a team. At some point, you have to acknowledge that you're going to take a step backwards when your best players get hurt. So what I'm saying is, yes, our expectations went up. And I emotionally, our expectations went up. But it doesn't change the reality that if we end up with 9 or 10 wins, it has to be considered a successful season in the sense that we got better and that we were growing and getting better. Remember where we came from. We were horrible for years. We don't even compete. We didn't know what it was like to win a game. We won 4 in a row. The expectations can't be we're a Super Bowl team now. If we don't win the Super Bowl, we're disappointed. Right? It can't be that. It can't be we won 4. If we don't win 5, then we're going to jump off a cliff. It's over. We stink. We're pretenders. No, come on. Like, we got to be realistic. We won 4 games in a row. Okay, it stinks we lost today. It happens. It sucks that it happened, but it happened. It's not over. It's not over. We could beat them in New England and it'll fix this. It will. It will fix it because then your expectations go down, right? If we lose to Buffalo 5-4, it's falling apart, same old Jets. Then we come out of the bye and beat New England, and then you're not thinking that anymore. Everybody's thinking, yay, we're 6-4. We beat New England finally. Yay, Belichick, you suck. We beat the streak. It's over. We're 6-4 now. We're in the playoff picture. We got the easier part of our schedule. Still not easy. It never is in the NFL, but easier. Right? Because except for the Buffalo game and the Miami game, the other 7 games that we have left, there's going to be a lot of winnable games. Jacksonville, Detroit, Chicago. Lots of games where we have a good chance. I'm worried about Minnesota now. Not going to lie. Plus, when we come back from the bye, we might actually have some of our tackles back. That'll help. By the way, Melvin, what's going on, my brother? Zach Wilson balls in the pocket. Too fast. He isn't running the offense. He has to learn to get his feet, to set his feet and throw. I agree. I love it when he stays in the pocket and he keeps his form and he stays patient to the last second. That's when he looks his best. Yeah. Yeah, you guys are saying it. He just thinks that, and we have to hope that he's going to be able to do that and be able to start reading the defense better. We just have to hope. Now, look, I'm not denying like we're disappointed because our expectations went up. That's why we're upset, right? I mean, if we were 2-5 or 1-6, like the normal Jets that we've been, we wouldn't be so freaked out today. We'd just be like, yeah, another week as a Jet fan. But we're brokenhearted and we're taking this loss harder because we were 5-2 and our expectations went up and we believe more in the team. But then we got to also not jump off a cliff and get more grounded and come back to reality and realize that as much as it sucks that we lost today, as much as it sucks, the winning streak had to come to an end. I wanted it to come to, like, if it had to come to an end, I was hoping it would be Buffalo. Like, I was hoping we'd get one more. I really wanted to beat New England. I'm not saying I'm not disappointed, guys. I'm not saying we shouldn't be pissed, upset, brokenhearted, having a crappy week. I always do when we lose. It's going to be a hard week. It's painful. I'm just saying I'm not going to sit here, jump off a cliff and say that everything we accomplished this season is gone. Like, I'm just not going to say it. Yeah, and they better stop trying to outsmart people. Just ground and pound. Pound the ball, pound the ball, pound the ball. I'm with you, Melvin. Then if we soften them up, then you could do some passes. And if you're going to pass, can we please have some quick slants? Can we please try a screen pass? Can we try something different? Sack flows are all mental. The stage is too big. That's not something that can ever be fixed. Well, either it can or it won't. You're right. It's something that might never be able to be fixed, or it might be something where he might just say F it and all of a sudden go off and not be afraid anymore. That's what I thought the Pittsburgh fourth quarter was going to be, but apparently it didn't happen. Jermaine Johnson will be back. Give this man some mention. Our defense healthy is dangerous. Yeah, only reason I didn't mention him is because it's the offense that really is why we lost today overall, except for the one play. The defense has been playing so well, and it's the offense that we've been waiting so long as a fan base for, right? Like, when are we gonna be a team that just scores points? That's tired of looking at just the embarrassment of just inept offensive football. But again, I'm excited for Jermaine Johnson to come back. It's just that, and it just would make us that much better. But it's just that the pain isn't coming from the defensive line. Huff has been great, and JFM without the penalty was great today, aside from that one play. But when Jermaine comes back, look, I'm going to be excited. I'm going to be happy. And God darn it, man, let Clemens play more. Got to get Michael Clemens in the game more. Jeff George, DeMarcus Russell had real talent. I agree. It's going to take more than talent. TW was pissed in the presser. He needs to be. He realizes that his L is on him. Yeah, he looked upset and pissed off. He looked impatient more than he ever has. And that might be a good thing. I don't want him to. I don't want more of the same old blah 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 blah. Happy. I learned a lot today. Like, I'm kind of glad that he's pissed. Maybe that's what we need it to be. Maybe we need him to get pissed. Get a chip on his shoulder. So I have the best daughter ever. She got sick, and guess who got out of that stupid baby shower? Game could have been better, but a personal victory for me. Congratulations. That's great. That's great. This is an opinion, not a fact. That's all I'm going to say. It's an opinion. It's not a fact. Soon, Jeremy, soon. Hopefully you're building on what I'm saying about our future. We're going to be there, guys. We're going to get there. But I'm a negative fan, by the way. I'm the most negative fan, sitting here screaming and preaching that we're going to get better. Today was Zach's worst game. He's going to play better next week. I feel that way. Like, I'm not going to sit there and say it's his worst game and he's going to keep getting worse. That's jumping off a cliff. I think he's mad, and I think he's going to play better. I don't know if it's what it's going to amount to against Buffalo. I don't know how much opportunity he's going to have to really. I don't know. I mean, it's not like Buffalo doesn't give up any passes or touchdowns. I mean, So let's just hope for the best, right? Let's go one play at a time, and just do it. Yes, turnovers cost us the game, but so did JFM penalty. It's a team game. Some Jet fans are in denial. I'm a Jets fan since 1983. I've seen this before. Yeah, dude. I'm about 81, I think, when I really officially claim myself a fan. I've seen it before too. But I don't think that this is comparable to any team we've ever had. I think every team is different. We have different head coaches, different general manager. We're a different organization, and we are going to see who the Jets are. Right? I know that we're a team that won 4 games this year. We're a team that's much better than the team last year. We're a team that's overcome and had to deal with tremendous injuries like I've never dreamed possible. But we're going to see. We're going to see the character of this team. How are we going to play next week? Are we going to come back and beat New England the week after that? Are we going to win the games that we should? Are we going to beat Chicago? Are we going to beat Detroit? Are we going to beat Jacksonville? Are we going to win the games that we can win? That's the question. We don't know who they are until the season's over. 8 games in, all we know is we're much better than we ever were in a long time. We haven't been this good in a long time. That's what we know. But we also know that we're capable of losing, and we have a quarterback that's capable of playing very poorly. That's what we know. But everything else is just our emotions talking. That's what I'm saying, John. I'm trying to tell people that. We're going to win that game. I have such a powerful belief that we are going to beat them the next time we play them. I really do. I really do feel that way. Well, for run defense if their run defense is suspect, then we should pound the ball like crazy. And I'm tired of trying to do the opposite of what they think. Stop thinking. Just pound the ball. Attack their weakness. Zach plays with the fear at home. Imagine in New England. Nah, but it's different, man. It's different. It's not always like that. Some people, I think he struggles more at home. I think it's not always the same. Sometimes you're actually better on the road. We'll see. I don't know. I don't know if he's going to be worse in New England. I have no idea if that's true or not. I don't know if I buy into that. We're in trouble, Jeremy. We have a quarterback, most important position. We have no quarterback. I don't know if that's true. I have not gotten to that point where I think it's impossible. And I'm going to sit there and agree that we don't have a quarterback. I'm going to say I'm very, very concerned. That's about as far as I can go. I'm very, very concerned. Feed the Rabbit, thanks for the super chat. We have seen him play well, and his best days are likely in front of him. I like that mentality. The JFM penalty negotiating the kick was the story. Oh, didn't you already read that one? How did I fall so far behind? Let me go down. I think I see a super chat, a red one. Oh, Ablab Studios. Man, you're just out of control today with the generosity. I appreciate you, my friend. Thank you so much for the super chat. It's been a long day, so it feels good to be appreciated like that, man. Thank you so much. Here are some facts. We're 5-3. Thank you. That's true. We have a solid GM and head coach. I agree. We have a fire young team. I agreed, man. We got some freaking amazing young players I'm so excited about. We have a top flight defense, and it's amazing that went from the 32nd defense. We're actually saying we have a top flight defense, and it's pretty reasonable to say it. We're looking pretty awesome. Zach Wilson has 9 more games to play. Good, and be consistent. And to be consistent. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We got to let those 9 games play out, although I'm concerned. A good team can lose. And, okay, I agree. A good team can lose, obviously. I love the Jets Nation. Stay New York strong, gang. I love you, Ablab. You're the best. Thank you so much. I appreciate the super chat. I appreciate that Aunt Gina is in here. For those of you who don't know, I think everybody knows. I call her Aunt Gina because she's Green Bean's aunt. She's the reason Green Bean's a Jet fan. And all those series of events of her taking Green Bean to his first game to a bar when he was 11 years old. That series of events led, I would not be sitting in this seat talking to you right now if not for that, because it all connects. If Green Bean wasn't online, I don't think I am right now. So, and if Green Bean doesn't go to that game with his aunt, maybe he never even becomes a Jet fan. We don't know. So here we go. It's all because of Aunt Gina. That's why we're here. But Ablab, thanks for the super chat again. Cannot thank you enough. I love that. Worst game this year. Yeah, and you know what? Every team has their worst game this year, right? I mean, the Niners beat the Rams again for the second time, but last week the Niners looked like crap. Tampa Bay lost to Carolina. I mean, things happen in football. We're not the only ones, right? There's upsets all the time. When we beat the Rams, do you know how they felt in 2020? Do you know how the Rams felt when we beat them? Can you? I got a friend. His name is Pale Time. They were jumping off cliffs. I'm telling you, it's just part of football. It's just part of football. The refs are ruining the sport. I'm not going to even argue that. I won't argue that because it's hurting the sport for sure. When you have such a subjective judgment of such a small thing that had no impact on the play, and the penalty negates a touchdown. How about 15 yards on the kick? I don't know. There's something that has to be reviewed about calls like that. It's just that they're just, I can't even, it's hard to even talk about. Ken O'Brien, Altoon, yeah. I remember that, man. I lived through it all, starting with the sack exchange, Freeman McNeil, Lance Mel, Mickey Schuler, Johnny Hector. Then we went and we got, we had, then it switched and we had Ken O'Brien and Altoon came along with Wesley, to compliment Wesley Walker. Those were the days. We still didn't win, though. Our Super Bowls. They weren't favored, though. Lose when you're favored. I'm telling you, the next thing the Jets will have Buffalo horse. I hope so, but we weren't favored, even though it was kind of crazy that we thought it was nuts that we weren't, but we were not favored. We were getting 3 points. We didn't even cover the spread, though. Zach tries too immediate A-Rod throwing style with that flicking wrist passing, and he's inaccurate doing it. He can't just get the ball to the wide receiver. He's dying to be on ESPN. I don't know if that's his motivation or if it's just this hero ball thing from BYU and he needs to, I don't know, man. I don't know. It's the coach's job to figure this out. The guy's got talent. It's the coach's job to get it out of him. That is the truth, Ro. That's my biggest fear. If he's not the guy, if he's not the guy, you see what a team looks like. If you don't have a quarterback, it's hard to win. It's hard to beat good teams without a quarterback or win consistently. So we have to hope he's the guy. That's all we can do. That's all we can do is hope he's the guy. What other choice do we have? New York Jets are not the biggest spoiler team in the history of the NFL for nothing. They are a country team. I don't want to. I know that, but this team has nothing to do with any of the teams of the past. Like the last 2 years, that team has nothing to do with the past. That's why it's so hard, unless you believe in that kind of thing. Like it's just the uniform or we're the Jets. But the reality is, as far as everyone who's running the team and the players that are on the team, it's not really, the same team. So I see a question. Hello, Aaron. Aaron Wise. Do you think we can beat the Bills? I happen to think that any team can win on any given day. Even when the Jets were the sack exchange, even with the Rex Ryan years, I worried every game. I never took a game for granted because I knew and I understand from over 40 years of watching football that the game's got to be played. I've seen crazy upsets, much bigger upsets. The Jets beating the Rams in 2020 is a much bigger upset than if the Jets beat the Bills next week. Just that's fact, in my opinion. I mean, that's not fact. I shouldn't say that. It's an opinion. But I believe that. Is beating Buffalo any less of an upset than when we beat Cincinnati last year, the team that went to the Super Bowl? I mean, we beat the Cincinnati Bengals with a backup quarterback, with Michael White, after getting crushed by the Patriots, right? No one saw it coming. People were dumping their tickets. People with tickets said, I can't go. I'm not dealing with the parking, like the traffic at the end. It's not worth it. I'm not going to the game. People bailed on going to the game. And with Mike effing White, we beat them. So do I think we can beat the Bills? Of course. I would never say, can Detroit beat us when we play them? Can Chicago beat us when we play them? Yes. Can anything. Can we? Yes. Do I think we will? Unfortunately, not. There's no way, maybe by Wednesday, there's no way I could look at anybody and say that I believe that we're going to win. Can we? Yes. It's very hard to believe we're going to win and beat the Bills. I'm watching them right now. It's very, very hard to believe that we can beat the Bills. Oh my God, look at them. I mean, I'm watching this amazing play right now. They're about to get another touchdown. They're down to the 7-yard line. That was Cook. That's their rookie running back. The brother of the guy from the Vikings. So look, I don't know. I think we can. It's possible. That's why we're going to play the game. Do I think we will? Right now, I'm not feeling like we will. I hope that doesn't give someone the ammunition to call me the worst podcast, like the most negative Jet fan. How could you have a podcast? But do I want the Jets to beat the Bills is the question. And yes, I really do. They're supposed to start 0-8, but they're 5-3, so that's contrary. They're supposed to beat the Pats, so they lose. That's contrary. So next week against Buffalo, we'll absolutely dominate. Well then, Billy, according to you, we're going to win the Super Bowl because eventually the contrary is going to be we go into the playoffs and we're supposed to lose, and that means we're going to win each game instead. So from your mouth to his ears. Mac didn't slide. We tackled him and got a penalty. He definitely bent down. That was kind of a crazy penalty. I'm getting really tired of it. The quarterback puts on pads just like every other player. It's sad that the NFL has gotten weak in that aspect. Yeah, look, I'm okay with not hitting him with your helmet and helmet to helmet, defenseless, late hit after he passes the ball, clearly late. But, like, they've gotten way out of hand. There's no question about it. It's getting a little crazy. It's like when you have to be afraid to touch another player on the field. Jets are ahead in the rebuild. I agree. We have a lot of hope. I agree. More than just hope, in my opinion. It's not just hope. I believe. I don't hope. I believe. We're going to. Look, the road's always rocky in football, right? Even if you win for a team that wins the Super Bowl, the weeks they lose stink. Never like to lose. But there is no question in my mind that we are on the path and heading in the right direction. There's no doubt about it. I'm as excited overall as a Jet fan as I've ever been. Today is a bump in the road. It's a painful one. It's a bump in the road. But I'm just talking about, and I know people are tired, the future. But come on, man. In 2019, what was the future? At least we could see the future now. At least I could see it. I could see the future now. Now, the future will get slowed down dramatically if Zach Wilson doesn't get a lot better. So it would really help our future if Zach Wilson is the guy and plays a lot better. But either way, I'm not backing down from this. And I know it's frustrating to hear someone say the future when they say 3 years, 4 years. But I'm saying next year's going to be fun and interesting. We got to see what happens. The year after that, those are going to be years where some of those years we're going to be one of these top teams for these. Like, we're going to come into the season with a chance to win the Super Bowl. Maybe for 3 out of the 4 years, we're going to have a run. And then we'll settle down, have a bad year, but then retool a little bit and have I really believe in Joe Douglas. I believe that this is going to be our time. I believe that from 2022 to 2032, we are going to be a great football team. We're going to be a team that, whether it happens this year or next year, we're going to eventually kiss the playoffs. We're going to flirt and touch the playoffs finally and get that feeling of playoffs and get that monkey off our back. And then we are going to be a competitive, threatening team that competes for championships, that's in the mix for years to come. That's what I believe. So you and me, we're together on that, Mr. Salazar. 100%. Gina for Prez. I like that. She'd be a great president. Jesse, your statement doesn't line up with the history of the New York Jets. We're supposed to get killed in Super Bowl III. They have a contrary team. They beat Buffalo. They will beat Buffalo. Billy, man, you're really on this contrary thing. Barney Miller, if we win and Zach looks great, I'd love to be wrong. I'd absolutely love that. Yeah, I mean, look, that's the key thing. There's a difference between a Zach hater and a Zach doubter. If you're a Zach doubter and you don't believe he's the guy, but you're rooting like hell that you're wrong and that he plays well, I can respect that. You have an opinion, but you're still a Jet fan. People who are rooting for Zach to play bad and right away, like the first thing they say is, I told you so, he stinks. That drives me up the wall. Why does Belichick have all of our quarterbacks' numbers? Well, we're gonna win in 3 weeks. We're gonna win, Melvin. We're gonna win. I really believe it. So I just can't wait until we go into New England and beat them. I can't wait, and I believe we're going to. I'm not putting. You never bet on I don't bet on the Jets, man. That's like playing roulette and betting on red. Give me a break. Not gonna happen. They changed it, and everyone is still getting hurt. Just let the men play. I know football's got to be football, right? We're 11-point dogs next week at home. Wow, that's really bad. That's like the equivalent of, let's see, we had 3 points for being at home. So if we were there, they just had a 14-point swing. They'd be 17-point favorites if we were playing in Buffalo. That's absolutely insane. I almost want to put him in there just to spare him the beating, but we're not going to do that. The score tonight, let me check. It's 27-10 Buffalo. They actually didn't score again, and Buffalo got the ball. I don't know what happened. I didn't see it. Yeah. I knew that if he struggles at all, people are going to blame it on, like, oh, he's having sex or he's focused on girls. Yeah, I mean, I feel where you're coming from. I mean, I'm really frustrated and sick of it. And then when we finally do get good quarterback play, they get hurt, right? Ken O'Brien, rotator cuff, ruined his career. Testaverde goes down untouched the year that we're supposed to have a chance to win the Super Bowl. Chad Pennington, probably the best quarterback we had since since Ken O'Brien. We get Chad Pennington, And then what happens? Rotator cuff, same injury as O'Brien. It's just unbelievable. Can't get a break. And then we've had a lot of bad quarterbacks in between. Steel Stone. I never understand Steel Stone because he varies from. Hey, Jeremy, lost today. The bright side is the Jets have a Super Bowl contender roster. Eventually, one day. One day, I wouldn't say they have one right now, but one day we will. I believe it. I believe that we're going to have a Super Bowl contending roster soon. Real soon. Zach lost us the game today and played poorly, but he is a 23-year-old quarterback who missed most of it. Yeah, that's true. He's young. He's a youngling. Yet James feels that he's not the guy. We could argue forever if Zach's the guy now. The one thing that can't be argued is Zach had a meltdown today, and he played very poorly. That's the one thing that can't be argued. I don't care if he threw for 350 yards. He played very poorly today. Question, does Zach get benched against Buffalo? I don't think so. Would help to get Fant and Max back. Yeah. It absolutely would. I'm waiting for it. I hope they're back after the bye. I hope we get at least one of them back, if not both. If both of them don't come back after the bye week against New England, I'm gonna I can't. Like I'm gonna take my bottom lip and rip it over, pull it over my head. That's what's gonna happen. For the past 40 years, probably more the big concern was mostly the quarterback play. Yeah, that's what it's been. Frustration. We've had great defenses. That's for sure. I can't tell you that I can't answer this. I don't know. It's like so predictable. He does the opposite of what you're supposed to do. He tries to outthink the opposite coach. That's that, like he comes against Green Bay, passing right from the beginning, like or Denver. Like he does the opposite, like he's trying to outsmart them, and it simply doesn't work. Like it doesn't even come close to working. Wow, if that didn't touch the ground, Josh Allen just threw an ugly interception, which shows you even the best quarterback in the league can throw an ugly interception. Oh, no, that was Rodgers throwing it to his own guy. Never mind. Thought it was an interception. Zach bed for business today. Yeah. We got to play Q ASAP. Oh, we got to pay him. Yeah. Yeah, and Green Bean called it. Every time Quinnen Williams doesn't only step up and make big plays, he always does it at the most insane times. Like he always does it at the best times. He does it like when we absolutely need the stop. It's third down. They're at our 20-yard line. They're threatening. And then, boom, he steps up and does it. It like never fails. So I think absolutely we have to seriously, we have to pay him. Quinnen Williams has to be a career Jet. At least the rest, for the rest of his prime or something. I'll be so pissed if we don't bring him back. Like if we just like franchise him or some baloney like that and then lose, I'm not going to be happy. We need a trade for a legit quarterback to win his arm. I don't know, Sean. I just don't know if it's. I mean, we could say it all day, but they're not going to do it. They're going to wait unless he plays. If he plays like he did today for the rest of the season, if he's horrible next week and then horrible again in New England, horrible, and we're losing games and he's just throwing interceptions, then maybe they'll have to they'll accept that. Oh, Green Bay just scored a touchdown. So there you go. Let's see. What does that make the score? Let me see. Oh, you got to look at my shirt every time I do that. 27. It's going to be 27-17. Okay. Maybe we're going to have ourselves a game here. Zach does get benched. I want Strevler over White. Yeah. White is 38, I believe, and had either back injury or neck. I'm not sure, but I love the spark in there. No, if you're saying he's 38 years old, he's not 38 years old. I think he's like 25, but 26 maybe at the oldest. Look, the Strevler thing, it's just like it's a weird conversation to have because the reality is we could say we want him. I could agree with you, disagree with you. It doesn't matter. They're not playing Strevler unless White and Zach are hurt. And it's just that's the reality. Unless they like, let's say Zach got hurt, White came in and was absolutely horrible. I mean, just horrible. Maybe. Question: do Flacco and Moore get traded for a legit young, healthy tackle before Tuesday? I don't know for sure. I'm not one of those guys that are going to sit there and say, I mean, it's just, well, and Barney, you probably mean it that way. You want my opinion. My opinion is it won't be a surprise. Like if Flacco and Elijah Moore get traded, it is not a shock. If they don't get traded, it's not a shock. Like it's football is so hard to predict trades. So hard. But I wouldn't be surprised. And that's shocking. Who would have thought 3 weeks ago we would be sitting here now saying we wouldn't be surprised if Elijah Moore got traded? Who wouldn't be? You would have thought I would need to be committed. You would have complained to YouTube and told them to shut my channel down if I would have told you that 3 weeks ago. So I don't know. I think that it's very possible. I think the fact that Flacco was demoted to QB3, that they took Strevler off the practice squad, I think those are all indicators that there's a chance he's going to be traded. I don't know who or who needs him or wants him, but I think those are indicators. So we'll just have to see. We're just, but it's kind of crazy. 7 more likes to 50. Come on, guys. We've had over 80 here forever. Hit the like button. We would Josh Allen instead of Sam Darnold. We should have took Josh Allen over Sam Darnold. Hell yeah, we should have. Should have, would have, could have, right? How many people knew about that though? I kind of was thinking it, but I'm not going to claim it because everyone's just going to call me a liar. So I don't say it, but it's true. Everyone is going to stack the box against us now and dare Zach Wilson to throw. Well, that can open up some opportunity, right? We can't draft quarterbacks. Well, thanks, Gina. Good point, Ragnar. I once told my friend Jason, I said, Jason, we should draft every single draft pick should be a quarterback. Like we should go 7 rounds and draft 7 quarterbacks. And then the next year, 7 quarterbacks for 2 years in a row. And 14 quarterbacks. And just keep trying them out and throwing them in. And just eventually we have to find a good one, right? So tired of it. Getting Fant and Mitchell back may be a little bit of false hope. They both need AVT beside them, especially Fant. Well, I don't know. We'll see. It's better than who we have there right now. Right? Who is this Strevler guy? Why are people acting like he's a young Joe Montana? Every fan base wants to back up a quarterback until the back goes. Because we see them play against future Home Depot workers. Like we see them playing against guys that aren't on rosters, that are there, just filling out the camp, and we see they go in and they play well in a preseason game, and on TV it looks good, and we think that they're great. But Strevler did look really good on his feet. He came in playing against the same defense White did, and looked much better. So I don't know. Zach needs to mature. It will take more time, but he has to play better. Yep. That's what we hope. Buffalo is beatable. Anybody's beatable. He bleeds. He's a man. He's not a machine. He's a man. Do we trade him now? Well, it's going to be by Tuesday if we do. Trade deadline's on Tuesday. So if something's going to happen, you're going to see it happen in the very near future. So I watched him at Wyoming and seen a strong arm, size, mobility, and pocket presence. Hell yeah, I wanted Josh Allen. I wanted them to trade down for him. That was something I had told my wife when I was sitting there. I said before everything unfolded, I said, man, it would be interesting because they keep projecting Allen to go so late. And I really liked him. I liked his size. I really loved his size and his arm. And I thought to her, I said, it's such a gamble with quarterbacks. It's just a gamble with Darnold or Rosen or Mayfield than it is with Josh Allen. So my attitude was, if we could trade back to the 7th or 8th pick or 9th pick, I was thinking we could get Josh Allen, but also bring in a haul, for that flip, like maybe another first rounder for the next year, an extra second rounder also for this, for that year. So I was talking about it. I really was, but it didn't happen. So if we wind up 5-5, our second game against New England, they need to really look and see if Zach is the one. I think there were already, even Salah had a different responses this time. He was like, yeah, he's got to play better. We're going to go out and figure out how to try to help him. Yeah, and the third string bum on Miami had an amazing preseason. Exactly. They trade more, and then the offense coordinator doesn't know how to use him, and that's sad. More runs a 4.3 40-yard. It's concerning. But I don't know if it's because we don't know how to use them. I think we just had different game plans, and I think that it's more of they weren't ready to use them. Like, not that they don't know how. It's just that Zach isn't playing well enough, and their passing game overall isn't good enough because they're banged up offensive line and who they were playing. Like, I don't know. I think if we trade him, it's because of what he's saying. Like, he's got I'm not blaming him. I'm not going to judge him. I'm tired of judging him. But the trade wouldn't be because we don't think he's good. The trade would be because he's a problem in the locker room right now. Seems our O-line is remiss without AVT. Judon on Zach immediately often. Also, why was Zach rolling to Judon's side too many times? I don't know. I can't answer any of that. It's so frustrating and upsetting. Sean, have a good night, buddy. Thanks for visiting. Thanks for hanging out. I know it's late for a lot of people, so thanks for being here. Appreciate you. Mike LaMountain. Salah should have sat Zach after his third pick. We needed a spark, and it was obvious Zach wasn't doing the job. We were thinking it might happen. Like Green Bean was saying it. Like, Mike White's got his helmet on, I think there's a chance they were considering it. I really do. I think there was a moment they were actually considering it. But it didn't happen. So they're certainly not going to bench him for next week. You know what I mean? But you have to wonder. Yeah, Belichick would have benched his guy. Yeah, well, he didn't bench Mac Jones, and Mac Jones didn't play well. So, right? I mean, he didn't turn the ball over, but he didn't play well. They weren't exactly lighting it up. But I hear you. Zach drove us for a touchdown after the third pick. Wouldn't have mattered. Yeah, look, I was happy about that final drive for Zach. Like, we shouldn't overlook that. It's something. The fact that he was able to come back and there was some good plays there, gave us a chance for the onside kick. It's not nothing. It's something. Like, we can't totally discount that. Like, it's a good thing that happens. It's a good thing he was able to, like, put that drive together. It seems like every time he's playing out of desperation, he's good. Like, when he was in that rushed mode, he was good. Play it. Come out with the quick huddle. Come out and tell Zach, pretend we're down by 10 and there's 5 minutes left. So you have to score fast so then we could score, get the ball back and score again. Tell him that. Play like that. Play with urgency. Stop with the slow offense and the huddle and the slow counting and he's thinking and he's in his head, and just run to the line of scrimmage, snap the ball, and throw the ball at one of our weapons. That's the best Zach we've seen. When he's rushing. When we're playing fast. Don't let the defense figure out what's going on. Just go. Quick huddle. That's what we should do. We should just go with a quick huddle offense. Small and timing is key. Not user-friendly for any young team. The high precision offense for the receivers. This means at times the slot to hit the receiver is small and timing is key. Not user-friendly for a young team, but friendly for a team when those young players have done it for 3 or 4 years. That's what people are forgetting. It's like, that's why New England's so good, right? Same system. Give it time. He benched Mac last week, and it got better game out of him this week. Yeah. I'm not saying you're wrong. Have a good night, Chaos. Talk to you soon, brother. Have a good night, Luke Skywalker. You someone we know who changed your name? I'm talking to Luke Skywalker like he's here every week. J. Cole, what are you saying? Jeremy, don't be negative, Jets fan. Why is everyone saying I'm being negative? I don't understand. Zach Wilson is just too hot and cold. Well, that's the problem now. I can't argue with that. I mean, it's true. Barney Miller. Where's Fischler? They should go no huddle. Yeah, man. So we're on the same page there. I want to see the no huddle. Man, we had 6 sacks and a pick, and we lose. That's crazy. I know. But, hey, man, at least we have a defense, right? It appears that we have a defense. It might get a little rough against Buffalo, but, for the time being, for right now, we could say at least we got a defense. He benchmarked down 10 after the Skycam interception. Put Zap in and got blown out. Oh. I've been drinking hard for 9 hours. Zach has me upset. No, man, you we're jumping off cliffs by the half. Oh my God. You're drinking? I can't. I got to get up so early. I don't have the job where you can. It's just so hard. I can't be headache. I have to go in full of energy. Man, Sunday nights are rough, guys. I'm telling you. Quick huddle might be the secret. Hey, I called it, man. If I don't think they're going to do it though, right? Because I'm saying it, but we've never seen them do it before. So you'd think that how much brains do you have to have? When does Zach look good? When there's very little time and he's desperately trying to score quick to score again, right? Pittsburgh, 2 drives. We saw it happen. 4th quarter. And then you look at whatchamacallit. Then you look at today. There's 5 or 6 minutes left. He's in a rush to score. It's to an onside kick. He's rushing. And what does he do? He was throwing beautiful passes. That's what he was doing. Why not just go quick huddle and put him in that mindset? Yeah, look, I don't like how on 2nd and 3, we always end up 3rd and 3 or 3rd and 5 because we try some weird, crappy play instead of just pounding the ball forward and going north with the ball. You know what I mean? Yeah, we're definitely giving him the year. They're giving him the year. They're giving the year. But today's not the time to talk sense and try to, I realize talking people off the cliff on Zach Wilson and saying there's hope and this and that. It's not going to – tonight's not the best night after what's happened. So what's going on here? Josh Allen running out of the pocket, throws it away. The play calling was horrible, especially 40 seconds left in the half, and we call throw on our 30. WTF becomes turnover. It's annoying. Yeah, the backwards running is something they have to talk about. Yeah. You were on paid time off? Wow, that's cool. I'm jealous. I'm actually off a couple of days at the end of this week. If you told me the Jets would be 5-3 after 8 games, I would have taken in that a heartbeat, taking that in a heartbeat at the beginning of the season, but this was a bad loss. Yeah, that's the problem because your expectations change. That's people were saying that before. Well, the defense eased up. Our defense is good. I don't feel like their defense eased up much because they still didn't want us to score and do the onside kick. They saw what happened with Cleveland. Zach needs to stop throwing off his back foot. You'd think that the coaches would see that. Yeah, I don't know why he doesn't run anymore. Poor Germ. He's too young to be going senile. Spitting out the hate and then saying he's not. What are you talking about? What hate? Not spitting out any hate. I'm upset that we lost. But as I calm down, I'm realizing I'm still hopeful for the future. It's a tough loss, man. There's no hate here. Who do I hate? What hate am I spitting out? I think Zach Wilson had a rough game. And I think that he's got to play better. And I'm really worried that he's not going to be the guy. It's just honesty. It's not hate. Have fun, people. I'm turning out for a bit. Thanks, Jeremy. Thank you, Braden. Take care, brother. Yeah. He's looking like a problem. I didn't deny that he's looking like a problem. I didn't deny that I'm worried about him. Now I'm even more worried about him. What can I tell you? Today we took another step backwards, and it's it's not easy with Buffalo being next on the schedule either. So I don't know. So it is what it is. I don't know what to tell you. It's looking like a problem. I'm concerned. I was, look, I would have loved for him to have just been great from the start. Like from last year, just been one of those guys who right from the start was a great player. And it just simply didn't happen. And now we're just sitting here. There's nothing left to do if you're a Jets fan that just hopes. You know what I mean? There's nothing left to do but just hope that we're wrong, that our concerns are for nothing, that he's going to be fine. There's nothing left. And if we're wrong, then they're going to have to move on. Thank you, man. We got to stay hopeful. It's all we have is hope, right? We got to just stay hopeful. We can't give up. We're 5-3. We can't give up. Today was beautiful. If you can appreciate seeing that, we need a real quarterback. You're still really mad, but I'm telling you, it's not over yet for Zach Wilson. There's some hope. I know it's not looking good, guys. I know it's not looking good. But there was one guy in here that was saying he threw for 350 yards and two touchdown passes. And while that doesn't mean he had a good game, while I still consider this a meltdown, it is proof that there are moments where he plays at the NFL level and he does it well. So, there's that. I know. Well, it's always like that. After you lose, you're thinking, then we got a tough game. We're going to lose, and we're going to be 5-4, and everything's falling apart. Like, it's really – I feel you. And we're all traumatized. We're all trauma victims because we're Jet fans. I mean, we have football, NFL football, New York Jet trauma. It might not compare to other kinds of trauma, but for a football fan, I mean, what it is, football trauma. It's a different thing. Bring the white and black bottom jerseys back. Yeah. Yeah. I'm all about that. I like the helmets today, though. It's way past my bedtime. I really should go to bed. Jeremy, you went from live watch party to Buffalo fan to your live. That's a long day. Yeah, man, I'm working hard today. I've done a lot today. There's no question. And my brother wanted to do a pregame show. Oh, my God. I've been on 2 hours. My God, I was supposed to jump on for an hour. Oh, lots of wins post-second Pats game. Let's just beat them in 3 weeks. Let's focus on Buffalo, right? Let's just worry about Buffalo now. We'll worry about New England next. One game at a time, guys. One game at a time. Like, obviously, if we're going to win and make the playoffs this season, it's going to have to be in spite of Zach Wilson. Like he's not going to all of a sudden be good enough. Like it's going to be, he's hopefully gets better and better, a little bit better, but we're going to have him and we're going to have to do other things really well. We're going to have to play amazing defense. We're going to have to get our offensive line going again and get some guys healthy again, you know, and make it happen. Yeah, they're just not going to do that, my friend. I'm not saying you're wrong. Speed Doctor, I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying they're not going to do it. That's the thing. I'm about 95% sure that they're not going to do it. They're simply not going to bench Zach Wilson. At least not anytime soon. You thought that was bad coaching? Well, I mean, anytime it's hard to look at that game and at that second half and say there wasn't some bad coaching. Yeah, I think we still have good running backs if we could block for them. There's no question about it. Everybody's saying good night. I think I should say good night too. Everybody, thanks for watching. I'm going to play my new promo. Hey, if you like the channel, if you like the content, do me a favor. Aside from hitting the like button, if you're not sub up to the channel, guys. It really helps out. All I try to do is put out the best content possible. That's it. That's the worst thing that I'll ever do, is sometimes not do well at it, but I'll always try. I can promise you that. Subbing helps, guys. I'm pushing on 2,000. I want to get there. So hit the like button, sub up if you like the content. If you don't, I have no right to ask you to. I don't want you to do it as a favor. I want you to do it because you like the content. So take care, everybody, and I'll leave you with my newest promo that I started the show with that some of you might have missed. Greatest co-host in the world! Watch 2K99. Get ready to rumble!
The tag team champions of the world.
My brotherly creeper
Has the best intro I have ever received.
the world. The Buffalo Jets man.
Yo.
George Fant is a barely above replacement level, pretty good left tackle.
How can you say
Compare
that when
that
he
to
was
an-
top 3 in sack percentage last year for left tackles?
And I think when in doubt, until you have better reason, go with the optimistic view. And our defensive line is going to be giving a lot of people some trouble.
But yeah, it's got to be. I'm with you. I don't like the Nathan's fries when they're like floppy. It's got to be like done really well. You know, it's very hard to teach 6'3" and 4.3 speed. That's very rare. The talent's there. He's just got to put it together mentally.
Right.
To get
You're a
onto
cheater.
you, I'm a cheater.